For many years, we've watched the characters in Toy Story deal being sentient toys and the adventures they go on. However, now that this story is seemingly done, Pixar Animation Studios has taken the creative step of producing a movie, Lightyear, focused on one of those characters in their natural environment. While not the first time this sort of thing has been done with Buzz Lightyear, it's something I've long wanted to see Pixar do. What's amazing is that director Angus MacLane has made a legitimate science fiction movie that would believably be something Andy would be astonished by, and thus want to get the merchandise from. Lightyear does not waste any time in setting up the stakes and getting the plot moving. Buzz Lightyear, voiced here by Chris Evans, makes for a compelling and likable lead, and the film already gives him a conflict which weighs on him through the rest of the runtime. The concept of space crew being stranded on this planet and Buzz's desperation to get them out of there is an inventive one. Something the movie does exceptionally well is portray Buzz's relationship with the other characters. His friendship with his commanding officer, Lisha Hawthorne, gives a sense of how long they've been working together, and they have a great rapport. A scene stealer in the movie is a robotic cat named Socks, who gets the bulk of the cleverest visual gags in the film and has some great line readings, courtesy of longtime Pixar employee Peter Song. Later on, Buzz comes across other characters who also make memorable impressions. These recruits are able to have their own distinct personalities, and are characters you grow to care about just as much as Buzz. Taika Waititi gets plenty of funny moments, and Izzy, voiced by Kiki Palmer, proves to be a likable character in her own right. As I mentioned, MacLane's direction treats the film like he's making a legitimate science fiction film, rather than just an expansion of the Toy Story franchise. The sense of adventure and wonder about the future is there, and the production design recalls films like Aliens. Even though we spend the majority of Lightyear on a single planet, it's a creative environment, and the various creatures inhabiting it manage to stand out. The action sequences are also exceptionally put together, making great use of the setting. There's a sense of mystery surrounding Emperor Zurg in particular, as we're not given too many details about him until a certain point, and that adds to the intrigue surrounding the robots battling the heroes. However, I also appreciate a lot of the quieter character moments. The screenplay, credited to MacLane and Jason Healy, is really smart, where it places those scenes and how the themes are explored. As expected from Pixar, the animation is excellent and makes especially good use of the IMAX format in depicting the vastness of outer space. Michael Giacchino's score also captures the sci-fi vibe the entire film is going for. I'm a huge admirer of science fiction movies, and so a film like Lightyear is definitely one that appealed to my sensibilities. It's an optimistic vision of the future and the possibilities of space travel, and Buzz Lightyear was an appropriate character to put at the center of it. As I mentioned before, this is not the first time audiences have gone to see a galactic adventure with this space ranger. In 2000, the Buzz Lightyear Star Command television series debuted, and is a show I have a huge fondness for. It also has an additional connection to this new movie, as Angus MacLane directed the computer-animated opening sequence featured in every episode. This has created a surprising amount of confusion from people about where Lightyear exists within the Toy Story universe, despite MacLane and Pete Docter making it quite clear. The film even opens with on-screen text explaining that Andy saw the movie in 1995, and that made him want the toy. Basically, Lightyear was where the character was introduced, which then led to toys, video games, and a Saturday morning cartoon show. Some may ask where the Buzz Lightyear Star Command characters are in the movie and gripe about continuity with the show. However, most animated shows based on popular movies tend to change a lot of things, like removing main characters or changing certain depictions for various reasons. Dana Barrett was absent from the real Ghostbusters, Tina Carlisle was not in the Mask animated series, Beetlejuice and Lydia were good friends, and the Dumb and Dumber cartoon gave Harry Lloyd a pet beaver for some reason. So it's entirely plausible for the creators of the television series to pick and choose which elements to take from the movie. There have also been questions about why Chris Evans is voicing Buzz rather than Tim Allen. However, very rarely do movie actors voice their characters in merchandise. We also already had Patrick Warburton voice Buzz in the animated show, and even though he sounds nothing like Allen, that never bothered me when I watched it as a child. I cannot believe I actually have to devote time to explaining the complexities of the entertainment within the Toy Story universe, and yet, here we are. Overall, Lightyear serves as a wonderful space adventure with many of the science fiction ingredients one hopes for. Angus MacLane has a clear love for the genre, and each scene is brilliantly directed. I was entertained through the entire runtime, and it did the job of pulling me into this outer space planet. While there's certainly nods to Toy Story, the movie more than works on its own. I think Pixar has been on an incredible roll lately, producing high-quality animated films like Soul, Luca, and Turning Red, and this is another example of how well Pete Docter has been running things. I can see why Andy loved this film, and if I had seen it at his age, I probably would have been a big fan too.